Hello, I'm Chris. In this video, we're going to see Maria take her first ever mock driving test. She's been learning with a different driving school and has never driven in this area or even driven this car before. I've never met Maria, so let's go and find out more about her driving experience. Well, thanks a lot for coming along.
No problem.
How many lessons have you had? How many hours?
I've had about 28 hours.
Right.
So, and I've been learning with someone else's car as well, as learner insurance. So I've been practicing and having lessons as well. And I think I'm test ready, so, you know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
How much private practice have you had?
Private practice about, not sure like hours, but we've done like quite a few days.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we spend like 3 hours a day just privately, and then I'll have my lessons as well.
Oh, that's
so
good.
it's been good, yeah.
That's really valuable experience though, getting the private practice.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
And what did you want to get out of doing a mock test?
I just wanted to see like if I do fail, then it will be good for me because I'll be able to see what I need to improve on for Tuesday, which is the day of my test, and, you know, see what mistakes I make. And
Yeah.
I feel like this is also a really good opportunity and a good experience, to be honest.
So your test is in 4 days?
Yeah,
Okay then, fine.
but obviously I've got practice, so I can practice at home and
Yeah.
in Ilford, and, you know, just do that until Tuesday.
Maria thinks that a 5-minute warm-up drive before the mock test starts will be enough time to get used to the car. In the meantime, this is how the test is marked. You're allowed up to 15 driving faults during the test, often called minor faults. These aren't potentially dangerous, but if you keep making the same fault throughout your test, then it could become a serious fault. Get a serious or dangerous fault, and it's a driving test fail. A serious fault is something that could potentially be dangerous, and a dangerous fault involves actual danger to either yourself, the examiner, another person or property. For more information on the driving test, have a look at our other video. There's a link in the description below. Let's catch up with Maria now, as she's about to start her mock driving test. Tell me, how do you know your head restraint is correctly adjusted?
So you would check, make sure if the rigid of the head restraint is face to the, make sure it's kind of level to the top of your eyes, top of your ears and eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can adjust it with the side. There's a click. You
Oh,
can just
yeah.
adjust it up and down.
Okay, thanks. The examiner will then say, throughout the drive, continue ahead unless traffic signs direct you otherwise. When I want you to turn left or right, I'll tell you in plenty of time. I'd like you to follow the directions given by the sat-nav,
Okay,
and I'll let you know when independent driving's finished, okay?
okay, sure, thank you.
Okay then, drive on when you're ready, please. Getting the test off to a good start here, with great all-round observations, and Maria got the tell me question correct. A show me question will be asked later on. Don't forget that apart from a 5-minute drive beforehand, Maria has never driven this car before, and she doesn't know this area at all.
At the end of the road, turn left, then turn right. Turn left, then turn right.
The pedestrians step out, and Maria does the right thing in stopping. The driver pulling out on the left probably couldn't see us at all until the last moment here, but Maria deals with it safely.
After 300 yards, turn right.
If you see pedestrians standing near a crossing, anticipate the lights could change. If you're waiting and you've got pedestrians crossing directly in front of you, then it's a good idea to apply the parking brake, just in case you slip off the foot brake or you get bumped from behind. There's so many potential hazards to watch out for on a busy high street. Keep planning ahead and try and anticipate what might happen next. You never know what's round the next corner, and sometimes it feels like the examiner has set certain situations up to really test you out. Maria done well. She was careful, but still tried to make progress. The bus is blocking Maria's view of the zebra crossing. Brilliant observations here. Never assume it's clear.
After 100 yards, turn right. Turn right.
Really good use of the mirrors. Maria told me afterwards how much she's been practicing, and it's really paid off. The oncoming vehicle isn't stopping, and Maria should have moved to the left and slowed down more. Unfortunately, this is a serious fault.
Turn right, then take the third left.
Good observations, taking a safe opportunity to go. Again, great mirror checks.
After 200 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Maria slows down and correctly chooses second gear, but doesn't release the clutch fully before turning. This is called coasting and makes the car freewheel, which means you have less control. At this point, we're positioned too much to the right hand side of the road. With a bend coming up, for safety, I've had to tell Maria to move to the left. Just move a little bit left. Unfortunately, this is a serious fault.
After 200 yards, turn right. Turn right.
Maria slows down too much for this wide, clear road, even selecting first gear, when really second would be more suitable. When it's safe, I'd like to pull up on the right hand side of the road, please.
At the end of the road, turn left.
She done well pulling up on the right. Okay, I'd like you to reverse roughly 2 car lengths, please, keeping it close to the curb on the right. Good observations. But Maria's forgotten to release the parking brake and is reversing with it still on. Maria's waiting for this vehicle, but it's quite far away and she could have continued reversing. But make sure you stop when they get near you. Okay, you can stop there, thanks. Drive on when you're ready, please. Really good all-round checks.
At the end of the road, turn left. Turn left.
I like the way she's keeping a safe distance from the learner driver, as they can be a little bit more unpredictable. Pull up on the left in a safe place, please.
After 300 yards, turn right.
Good mirror checks. And nice precise parking. Drive on when you're ready. great all-round checks. Parked vehicles on both sides, no one's got priority, but the other car's got there first, and Maria does the right thing in holding back.
After 100 yards, turn right. Turn right.
This next turn is hard to see, but the sat-nav gave lots of warning that it's coming up. Maria signalled a little late, but it wasn't quite worth a fault. She does, however, slow down too much for this clear, wide road, and selects first gear. This could annoy drivers behind. It's good to see Maria slowing down and thinking about this meeting traffic situation. Driving too fast for first gear there made the car jerk a little. Again, it wasn't quite worth a fault.
At the end of the road, turn right.
A lot of accidents happen at junctions, and it's really good to see Maria looking properly.
When it's safe, can you show me how you demist the rear window, please? Thanks.
After 300 yards, turn right.
Maria's signalled late for this turn. Luckily, the driver behind works out that we're turning and goes round us. I'm really pleased that we stopped, but we should be positioned closer to the other cars that are also turning right, as this would line us up better for the road that we're turning into. As you can see, Maria had to steer away from the island there.
I'd like to pull up on the left just before that van, please. Try and get reasonably close to it, but leave yourself enough room to get back out. You can ignore the driveway just for now. I can stop there, that's fine, thanks. Drive on when you're ready, please.
As usual, Maria checks all around really well, including the blind spot. A little bit of dry steering here. It's not a fault on the test, but it's not great for your tyres or steering components. And it's when you steer and the car isn't moving. A nice careful approach to this bend with parked cars.
After 300
But if Maria was quicker to react to the oncoming vehicle stopping, she wouldn't have needed to completely stop as well. Not worth a fault though. Maria starts to position the car a little bit too much to the right hand side of the road. As there's an oncoming vehicle, I have to ask her to move a little to the left.
Just move left a little.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Maria got a serious fault for road positioning earlier on, so no more faults are recorded in this category. I'm glad she stopped, but it was a little bit hard on the brakes. Not quite worth a fault. But now she's turning left, the signal has cancelled itself and she hasn't realised. This would be a driving fault. Every bend is different, but Maria slowed down too much for this one, which might frustrate drivers behind.
After 300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit. Then take the third left.
Maria does well noticing the keep clear markings. Timing this one is important. When it's clear to the right, when the vehicles up the road start to move, that's when you can creep onto the roundabout. She misses an opportunity here. And brakes just a little bit too hard with a car behind. Apart from a 5-minute warm-up drive before the mock test, Maria had never driven this car before. She judges the width perfectly. Good planning ahead. She done well keeping a box junction clear.
After 80 yards, turn left.
Maria does well checking the mirrors before driving around the roadworks.
Turn left. yards, go straight on, then you have reached your destination.
Be careful when you're in slow-moving stop-start traffic, not to stop and block the pedestrian crossing. Maria's planning ahead well and avoid stopping on it.
After 100 yards, go straight on, then you have reached your destination. Go straight on, then you have reached your destination.
Maria is holding the biting point and using the foot brake when creeping forward and while waiting. The clutch then starts to make this sound. It doesn't sound happy. Holding the biting point for a period of time can cause your clutch to wear out quicker. If the traffic light has just changed to red, then it's better for the clutch if you select neutral and release the clutch. If you are going to be stopped for a while, then as I mentioned earlier, using the parking brake is a good idea, just in case your foot slips off the foot brake or you get bumped from behind.
After 100 yards, you have reached your destination.
Okay, that's the end of independent driving. I'll direct you from
You
here.
have reached your destination.
Maria has had no problems remembering her mirror checks during this mock test. It's really good to see. Maria gets the speed just right on these bends.
Take the next road on the right, please. It's coming up soon.
She selects first gear and doesn't release the clutch before turning. This is coasting. For the speed that she was driving, second gear would have been best.
Take the next road on the right, please, just after that white van. Pull up on the left in a safe place, please. You can ignore the driveways for now. Leave enough room to get back out though. Okay, drive on when you're ready, please.
She doesn't roll back, but swings out across the road a little bit too much.
the end of the road, turn left, please. Take the next road on the right, please. At the end of the road, turn right, please. Next road on the left, please. Just coming up. Pull up on the left in a safe place, please. You can ignore the driveways for now. Okay, you can switch off now, thanks.
That's the end of Maria's mock test. Unfortunately, she wasn't successful today. She got a total of 12 driving faults and 2 serious faults. Let's reflect back on the test with Maria.
Are these all new roads to you, aren't they?
Yeah, it's so different to the way Ilford is. I think I failed. I really think I did. I did. Because in the beginning, when the car came, he horned. I think I should have slowed down. Was it because of that?
Yeah, you would have got a serious mistake for that.
Her other serious fault was for road positioning.
I don't know if it's because I've never had that. Yesterday I had a yoga lesson, and I've never had like any faults in because of positioning. I've always been in my lane. Because when I went on dual carriageways and everything, he was very like, my positioning is very good. So I think it's because I wasn't very sure of the roads. And obviously like that's not an excuse at the same time, but you know, I think it was because I thought it was a bit wide, so I thought I wanted to keep a distance from the cars and then and the thing as well.
It's important to get the balance right. You don't want to be too close to parked cars, or in a position where you could get hit by oncoming vehicles. There were some turns today where Maria had a clear road, slowed down a bit too much, and changed to first gear. This might have annoyed drivers behind. For the turns that she got faults on today, slowing down to between 10 to 15 miles per hour and selecting second gear would have been better.
Because what's happening then is you might annoy drivers behind if you go too slow. And also, because you change into first, you've still got the clutch down as you're turning, have you noticed?
Oh, okay.
The car is freewheeling, so you want to change down to second, come off the clutch, and then turn.
Yeah.
I thought you adapted well with the pedals. As I said, you haven't driven this car before, so that was good. I like your mirror checks. Your mirrors are really good.
Was it?
Yeah, mirrors
Have
before
I got any
signal.
faults for mirrors?
No, I didn't notice any faults on the mirrors at all.
Okay.
So I thought you were really good at that, especially going around the roadworks.
It's so funny because I haven't had faults on what you're telling me, and the faults that I had on was mirrors.
Yeah.
I didn't get any on that, but I think it's just because I was like, I need to be a bit more like, I think it's because of nervousness.
It does play a big part in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel natural, does it, when you're on a test?
It's
You're
quite
like,
hot.
it's quite warm, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When you're waiting in traffic, you hold the clutch at the biting point.
We notice you do that, so
Yeah.
you have the biting point and you've got your foot brake on, it will increase wear and tear on a clutch. You wear out your clutch quicker if you do that.
Okay.
So if you are waiting, clutch all the way down. And maybe even think about neutral as well if you're waiting for a period of time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get any from mirrors though. I'm really impressed.
You did. I was really impressed with the mirror checks. Yeah.
It's because that's what everyone really gets wrong on.
Yeah.
That's what-
Yeah. He's working hard on that, and I can see it's paid off the practice that you've been
Yeah.
doing. So that was really good.
Like I just know now what to do.
Yeah. So think carefully about which gear
Is
to
there any
choose.
like major? Like you know, like any,
Yeah.
like any. So I just need to practice on.
Yeah. Choose carefully which gear you're going to use, and then just work on your road
Yeah,
positioning.
that's what it was. Like I didn't exactly know what kind of roads are here, so you're just thinking, oh, let me just go into one just in case, like
Oh,
it will like be
yeah.
a sharp one or someone's coming. They have to wait.
Yeah.
So I was quite nervous on that. But yeah, I think overall I did well.
But I think that they can be easily sorted out in the time
Do you
you've
think they
got.
can be sorted out? In
Yeah, you're going to be
4
practicing
days?
over the
I'm
weekend.
going to be practicing like all day tomorrow, all day Monday. So
But it's weird if you haven't had that positioning problem before.
yeah, I've never like.
Ah.
My instructor said your position is really good. The first time I did dual carriageway, my positioning was the best thing. Like it was mainly my mirrors, so that's why I just think it's a coincidence. Like when the test's going to be in my instructor's car in my area, I think it'd be more better because I know the road, then I'll know what gear to turn
Yeah.
into. With this, I was like, oh my god, I don't know the road. What gear should I go into? It was like that.
But I really appreciate you doing the mock test. And,
No, I think now this was just like it showed me how in the actual test going to be like, and my nervousness, my confidence has gone now because I feel much more better now. So I feel so much better on the test.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be the same thing. So I'm just glad that there's a lot of things. I'm really glad I got this opportunity here, like thanks to you, that I got to do this, and like I've learned a lot. But one thing I know that everyone's going to be pleased of is my observations. It's just like now what gear turning into what road, and mainly my clutch, right? Not
Yeah.
to, what's that thing called?
don't coast.
Coast, yeah.
And don't
Because
hold.
I've never,
yeah.
it's surprising, I've never had these mistakes, never. And just because it's in the test, but anything can happen.
Exactly.
I'm just glad. I had a feeling that I would, fail, but this is like what I need so I can improve.
Definitely, and you've still got a bit of time to do that.
Not obviously over the top confident, but I'm quite like happy like now. I feel like this test has made my confidence just go, especially in a different area. I don't know the area, whereas I'm going to be in my instructor's car that I'm always driving in an area that I live in.
Yeah.
So it'll be very good, that for one thing. So I definitely think that I will know what gear to change into in my area. But then I do need to obviously get used, because obviously I'll be going to different areas once I pass, and you can't have these mistakes.
That's true.
So
Yeah, because you won't be just driving around your test area
yeah,
forever,
exactly.
will you?
Exactly.
All right, then. Well, thanks again anyway
No
for doing it.
Yeah.
It's going to help a lot of people, who's going to be watching.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like Adam, he got a serious fault for rolling back, helped me. I made sure not to roll back, So thanks to that, I really feel like people will be able to watch from me. That's why I don't mind doing this video today. But yeah, I think it was good,
On the day of her driving test, I received a message telling me that she'd passed with just one driving fault. Congratulations, Maria, and thanks for taking part in this filmed mock test. Well, that's the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found it helpful. Really appreciate everyone that's bought us virtual coffees. If you've got your driving test coming up soon, then good luck and bye for now.